Hello, my name is Essam, and I am a teacher of physics, chemistry, and biology. I teach the students of the years 10th, 11th, and 12th. I'm a pharmacist, and I have a PhD in organic chemistry. I have been working on synthesis of medicaments for over 12 years, particularly antimicrobial and anticancer substances. During my academic journey, I have publicized 21 scientific articles and 2 curriculum books, and I have synthesized dozens of biologically active substances. As a teacher of physics, chemistry, and biology, I never give my students a ready piece of information. Instead, I always get them to discover it by themselves. Starting from the base they have in chemistry, biology, or physics, we start building up the information step by step until we get into the final, real fact in all of them. This way, they will remember the information forever. More importantly, they will discover new methods of thinking. Students this way turn from being doers into being thinkers. The moment I know that the students got the information very well, I ask them to explain the information for themselves on the notebook using their own words. Not to copy the words from the slide or not to copy my words, but to explain it using their own words on the notebook. Like this, the information is going to be a part of their memory. Afterwards, I ask some of the students to re-explain it for me. I make sure that the information now is clear for the students. It's not copied to their brain. No chances to be distracted, no chances to be bored, no chances to be sleepy. When it comes to physics, students learn about the mechanics. They understand more how their car works, how the elevator in their houses work. They learn about electricity. They understand the electrical current in their houses, how it works, where it comes from, and how dangerous and safe it is. They learn about the electrical gadgets. They clearly understand what happens inside the gadget the moment they get electrical current inside it, and how this electrical current leaves the gadget and goes back where it came from. They study the waves, including the light and the sounds. So my students started telling me, like when we look at a light, for example, we can imagine the waves of the light leaving the light source, getting into our eyes. Or they started imagining the voice getting to their ears in the shapes of the waves. When it comes to biology, students learn where the oxygen they breathe comes from, where the food they eat comes from, and what happens to this food after entering their body. They learn what good food is and what bad food is, and they learn how to save the ecosystem. In chemistry, students learn the chemical nature of the materials that they know. Most of my students got shocked when they knew that the table salt they add to their food is a part a metal, the sodium, and a part a gas, which is the chloride. They got even more shocked when they learned that we can turn this table salt into the sodium metal and into the chlorine gas. The program they are studying is a strong base for their future higher education in case they decided to go in this direction. I always start explaining something new by asking the students' opinion about something. For example, guys, what do you think happens when we eat sugar? Or for example, guys, how do you think your car moves? Or for example, guys, what do you think? How can we make table salt? I get their opinion and I work on it. I take their answers and I take their opinions and move it up into the next level. So the students has all the chance to discover how this information is built up, to take it from being wrong into being better. In this case, the student feels that it is me who discovered this. By the way, I always call them the junior scientists. No silent listeners, no sleepy, bored students. Everybody should talk, everybody should give me their opinion, and every opinion should be fixed, adjusted, and turned into the right, correct information. More importantly, we care about our students' comfort, but I never let them be too much in comfort. What this means is I always like to put my students under pressure. I mean under active pressure, the pressure of giving them a mission to do with a limited period for them to do the mission. This will at first extract better results from them, and it will put them in an atmosphere that is kind of similar to the exams atmosphere. In my view, high active pressure is the key to get the best results out of the students. The International School Program is a solid program, reliable program. Following this program is going to make their mission of getting into a good university in the future way easier. The program is rich, the program is modern, the program is full of solid information similar to what some students at universities study. When I was a child, my biggest challenge every day was to wake up in the early morning, to get dressed, to go out, to take the public transport, and then to get into the school and to repeat this every day. Our students are lucky enough to wake up, wash their faces, drink a cup of water, and to start the lesson from their bedroom. Although they learn virtually, but the relationship between them is friendly, is nice, no bullying, no sarcasm, no complexes. As a teacher at Virtual International School, I am so lucky to work with a very professional team of other teachers, methodologists, managers. They are always ready to support me, to solve the technical problems, to supply me with materials, and to give me the advice. Supervisors of the groups watch after the students and the teachers during the lessons and after the lessons. Problems that appear to the students or the teachers during the lessons get solved pretty fast. When I was a student, I was very enthusiastic about learning, about discovering, and about developing ideas. I feel a lot of nostalgia when a student asks me a question, and I remember that this exact question is the question that I asked when I was their age. I tell the students, as far as you are thinking this way and you are asking this kind of questions, you are going to be a researcher. When I was a student, I always wanted to create something new, to make an invention, to make my life better, and to develop anything I have into something that has a higher quality. Now, as a teacher, I encourage my students to think this way and to behave this way. Those students who already are like this, I always encourage them and push them forward. It's hard to believe, but I always get from the students great ideas for researches. I tell them, get into university, apply your idea, and fulfill your dreams. Everybody should have a dream, and everybody should have a plan, and I always work on it with my students. When I tell my students about my academic achievements, I always hear from them comments showing me that they would like to add something to my achievement. When I hear this, I know that they are going to have a great future.